Welcome to the Vacationeers, Theme Parks, and More podcast. Join us as we discuss vacation planning, reporting, and reviews on vacations ranging from Disney and theme parks to cruising and beach getaways with everything in between. So grab your passport, a fast pass, and an umbrella drink because the show's about to begin. And now, without any further delay, here is your ghost host, Vacationeer Tom.
Welcome to episode number 1 of the Vacationeers, Theme Parks, and More podcast. I am your host, Vacationeer Tom, and I am joined this week by my son, Vacationeer Ian. Ian, say hello.
Hey.
My brother, Vacationeer Joe. Say hello.
Hello.
Fantastic. You're in our old rocking chair. And his son, Vacationeer Chris. Say hola, Chris.
Hello.
Hello. Okay.
He translated that for you.
Yes, he did. He's very wise. On this week's show, we'll be discussing our minication that we went to Carowinds Theme Park in Charlotte, North Carolina, back over the Memorial Day weekend. I will also be posting a YouTube version of this episode that will have photos and videos that we took while we were there, so that you can actually see what we're talking about. So go to the YouTube channel, that's Vacationeers Podcast, and find it there. We went to this minication as part of the CoasterRadio.com meetup event. And recently they actually started doing meetups, and this is the first one that we decided to go to. So I called Joe and Chris and said, let's go. So I think where we should start is the tickets. What do you guys think? Yeah, Chris and Ian don't care because they didn't pay any money for them, but Joe and I will begin with the tickets. So the tickets we got were the 2017 all-inclusive ticket. Joe and I got that. That included the admission with the Fast Lane Plus, dining plan where you can eat every 90 minutes, the Fun Picks photo pass, as well as a souvenir cup with the free refills for that day. And that was $135 for that, plus taxes and fees. What we got the boys is the admission and the Fast Lane Plus combo ticket, and that was $116 plus taxes and fees. And that came out to about a total of $265 once it was all said and done. So the Fast Lane Plus, you get 24 cut the line rides, which is insane. It's everything from Fury 325 down to the Scrambler, which is crazy that you can cut the lane in the Scrambler. The one interesting point of this is, although you get all the coasters with the exception of one, you do not get the Ricochet coaster. And we had to stand like the GP in that line, and we had to wait, which was awful. But we did.
And it is the worst coaster in the history of roller coasters.
Oh, well, yeah, they're all the same, right?
As far as the dumb factor goes, and we waited while that ride was broken down for at least a half an hour.
Oh, yeah, and then some lady came up and flipped the switch and got it running in 2 seconds while 2 teenage girls couldn't figure it out. It was pretty amazing. But yeah.
That was really great.
And
although the beauty of the Ricochet is that you're just hoping to not die at every curve. Because I don't know about you, but for me, and I just feel like the whole thing's going to fall over and I'm going to die strapped into this stupid car.
Let me tell you
every time I ride it, it's absolutely terrifying.
And we got the Fun Picks, and believe it or not, we have a photo of on the Ricochet. This will be the only park that I don't know of any other park that has a working photo booth for their Ricochet.
I think Hangs Dominion has one.
Is it working?
They have the station. It's still a photo station after you get off the ride.
And it is still a photo station?
Sometimes it's on, sometimes it's not. I don't know. I haven't been there in a year or so.
Wow. Well, that's unbelievable. Well, then never mind. But we have a
the
photo.
fact that they want your expression on that ride other than just abject fear. I cannot figure out.
Well, go to our YouTube channel, like I said, and see that photo, because it will definitely be part of the photo and videos that we show that's underlying this podcast. It is quite amazing.
You also have the Roaring Rapids.
Oh, the Rip, what is it called? The
Rip Roaring Rapids.
Rip Roaring Rapids. Yeah.
Skip what? There was like an hour or two, maybe a line.
Yeah, that line was insanely long.
That was a really long line, but we got to walk past the best part of it, and it was really nice because that was actually one of the better rapids I've been on too.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Although I must say, we did do an epic fail on getting them wet the second time when they went without us, and we had control of the guns. I'm not sure what happened.
It's really bad because we spent like $2.25 on timing all of the jets, and we had the timing down. We doused a ton of strangers.
Yes, we got them, As soon as it came,
But the kids came. The
we
timing
choked.
was just all messed up, and I don't think we got a drop on any of them.
we choked big time. It was awful. Yeah, like you said, we we spent like $2 getting everything ready. We knew exactly what to do, and when the time came, we failed miserably. But as far as the other rides, yeah, you can go on everything, including the new boy, what's the name of that thing? Oh, the Electro Spin, which Chris and Ian rather enjoyed, and you and I, Joe, we weren't having anything of it. That thing was just awful. That's that one near the funnel cake stand.
Oh, that was the most terrible ride.
Yeah,
we did that early in the morning, and I was just absolutely ruined until the funnel cake was ready.
that was pure misery.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing personally.
Yeah, you and
I really liked it. Yeah.
I don't. I guess because you're young. I don't know. That thing was just. And if it would have lasted 30 more seconds, that'd have been the end. I still would have ate a funnel cake, but man, it'd been awful. Let's go to the coasterradio.com events that we did. So we did the podcast airing, which was really cool. I've never actually seen them live recorded podcast. I saw some of their Tuesday night looking stuff, and that was kind of cool too. But I really enjoyed that. Since Ian and I are the only regular listeners, Joe and Chris, do you have any comments about the podcast recording? Have you gone back and actually listened to the podcast, I guess, is the first question.
I went back and listened to part of it just to see how it was different than what we experienced live. And it was kind of neat to see, what we experienced versus what aired. But I didn't listen to the whole thing. I was listening to it. It was during a work day, and someone called me about actual work I needed to do. So I decided to turn that off and get back to my job. And I never actually went back and listened to the whole thing.
Very interesting. Very telling. That's also why you don't get on those coasters to get your count. You're a poser.
That is true. I'm not as dedicated to the roller coaster lifestyle. I love roller coasters. I like roller coasters. I just don't like them as much as you guys do.
You're too old. That's what it is. All right. So then we did the water gun battle, which let me tell you something. I didn't think I'd tell you guys about game theory or how we should play that out. So it was the water guns, the ones that you shoot the water into the little Amy hole, and a thing goes up, and the winner, obviously the person that gets it up first wins. So they had what? How many legs? 4, 5 different.
There were 4.
There were 4.
For some reason,
there's 4
Chris
of us.
and Ian joined the same leg I was in.
There's 4 of us. So I get in the first leg thinking, okay, I'm going to go the first one. No one else is in it. Good. Let's split this out. That way we have a better chance of winning. Why would we go against each other? So I lose the first one, even though I think there was something wrong with that. Because at one point, the lady said I was winning, and I never deviated off of that hole, and I ended up losing. But that's neither here nor there. So,
but the same thing with me, because I soundly beat the other competitors and still ended up not winning my heat.
Well, yeah. And then I look over. I'm recording, which I can put that in the YouTube as well. I'm recording a short video of Heat 2, and I see Ian. I'm like, okay, Ian's in this heat. But I look over, and there's Chris. Like, oh, well, Chris joined him too. But I look further down, and there you are. Like, all 3 of you in the same heat. Like, man, these guys.
I'm pretty sure we need to blame our wives for this, because it was not as on cheating that caused this.
It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. But you know what? We didn't stay. Because we had the Fast Lane Plus, we really didn't do a lot of the podcast extras. We didn't hang out with everybody as much as we could have. We showed up for the podcast. We did the game, and as soon as we lost, we headed out because we wanted to hit everything. Plus, our 90-minute window for our food. We had
was ticking.
We gotta eat. So I guess we go next. I think that's all we did, right? As far as the meetup stuff.
Was right. Yeah, I think that was the one we did. Then we listened to the recording of the podcast, which was really kind of cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Next
I actually brought out a puppet for a coaster boy.
Yes, and that was
that was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
that was really fun.
Yeah, that was cool. So let's talk next about the dining plan. Now this thing is, so how that works is you have 90 minutes. Every 90 minutes, you can go and order an entree and I think a dessert, or just an entree.
Well, I think you get to eat once every 90 minutes, regardless of what you get.
Yeah, you get dessert with it though. I don't remember ever getting dessert. I think
If
it's just one
you,
thing.
no, we
No,
do not
it was
get
just
the
a,
dessert.
yeah, it was just a. So you went and you got, and I don't think a drink was included, but we got the souvenir cup separate. So we had unlimited drinks anyway, so it didn't matter. Usually when we go for the 90 minutes, it's all about do not share, you're not allowed sharing, blah, 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 blah. I think they probably have the wording of that on the Carowinds website. However, the dishes that you get really seem to indicate that they don't mind you sharing with someone else. Like everything we got.
They seem to be designed specifically to share.
Yeah, like we got pizza. It came with 2 slices of pizza and 2 breadsticks. I mean, that's got to be for sharing, right? What else we got? We got a ton of stuff, and every time we got something, it just seemed like it was portioned to share with someone else. So it was a very strange scenario at this park. That
What I noticed is each meal was not quite enough for 2 people.
Yeah, well, you had every 90
It
minutes,
was
so it didn't have
portioned
to be.
in 2 servings, so you could easily split every meal in half.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But it was not quite enough for 2 people, but people don't eat every 90 minutes. Normal human beings, right? I mean, we wait several hours. So by the time we got to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, every 90 minutes felt like, oh my gosh, we got to eat again.
But we had to do it.
Yeah, and we did. I mean,
you got to get value out of this meal plan. But let's.
So we did. I mean, I think the least food you get is like the chicken strips was where you got the least amount, but the pizza deals were just absolutely fantastic. I mean, you had 2 big slices of pizza and 2 breadsticks every time you got to eat. So
yeah, it was good. But let's get serious now. The best thing they had was in the funnel cake land, whatever. What is it called? County Fair. In the county fair, and this is the only place you can get the funnel cakes, because we tried later in the night to get the funnel cakes at a different stand, and they said, oh, no, you have to go back to the county fair to get them, and you better believe we made that walk to get that funnel cake, because these funnel cakes, so when you go up to this funnel cake stand at the county fair, they have an automated section where you can like touch screen, like a Sheets. I don't know if anybody knows Sheets, if you're not in the East Coast.
it was terrible because you went through and you punched everything and you ordered your funnel cake, and then you couldn't pay for it with your meal plan.
Yeah, you couldn't do it. But that's where they had the ice cream, they had the syrups, and you could just put stupid amount of stuff on this funnel cake. So as soon as they said, oh, no, if you have the meal plan, you have to order at the window, I thought, okay, so we're getting the basic powdered sugar funnel cake. Like all those extras, there's no chance we're getting that stuff.
They're all gone.
So when the guy asked me, he asked me, what do you want in your funnel cake? I said, well, I got the meal plan. What can I get? And he named off everything. I was like, yes, please. Give me all the ice cream. Give me the syrup and the what else was there? The whipped cream and
Well, there were syrups and the ice cream. You had the chocolate ice cream and the vanilla ice cream and the caramel and the chocolate and the whipped cream, and then they threatened to put fruit on it, and we had to say no.
No, please. The powdered sugar. Oh my! So we got that twice. So we got that. In fact, that was the first thing we got in the meal plan, and it was the last thing we got in the meal plan, and it was absolutely amazing. But overall, yeah, I thought you got a pretty good value from that meal plan, especially the way that the things that you got seemed to allow you to share, even though I'm sure you're not allowed, but we did, and man, that funnel cake, forget about it. So I think we should get into the coasters, because we talked dining. Is there anything else about dining you guys want to talk about?
Other than the souvenir cup, I'd say get the souvenir cup and the refills, because it was a hot day and the Carolinas get very hot and very muggy, and we drank a lot.
Yes, we did. Okay, so let's get into the coasters themselves. I figured we'd talk about them worst to best, and the suspense is on to see which one's the best. But we'll talk about the worst.
I think we're going to start with Nighthawk.
So, Joe, I think you can be quiet for like the first half of these, because I don't think you wrote any of these ones. Like the first.
I did. I wrote Nighthawk. You somehow conned me into it.
Oh, yeah, that's the.
Against every instinct I had, and I was absolutely correct.
Let me ask Chris first. All right, Chris, do you have the lineup of coasters in front of you?
No, I do not, but I remember most of them.
Okay, so what would you say is the worst coaster at Carowinds?
Vortex.
Wow, you even named the name.
Yep.
Wow, you are good, sir. You are good. Yeah. Ian, you.
Vortex is the worst.
Now, Joe, you didn't ride this, right? It was a standing coaster?
Vortex, I did not ride that. I saw a standing coaster. I had been on the standing coaster at Cedar Point. when it was still a standing coaster. I understand they replaced it since then, but it was such a terrible experience that I have been cured from standing roller coasters for the rest of my life.
But the interesting thing about the standing coaster, Ian, I don't know if you recall this, the sign above it that says, "Please do not sit on the seats," which is amazing. I actually took a picture of it, and you'll see it in the YouTube channel. There's signage that says, "Do not sit on the seats" for this coaster, which is quite funny because they are seats after all. I'd assume they were meant to be sat in, but maybe they should rename that from seats to crotch supporters or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's very strange signage that they don't want you sitting on the seats. So let's move on to the next coaster. So this might be debatable, the next one. I personally, Nighthawk was awful, but man, the Cobra Boomerang, the flying Cobras, Boomerang should just be ripped out of every park. I don't know why they exist. They're just awful rides. I can't stand them. So I think my second worst would be the Flying Cobras. That thing was just, again, that's another one that you'll never catch me dead on that thing again. Ian, what do you think?
I'd have to agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you should even call it a roller coaster. I mean, it was on a track and you're in a car, but it was designed more like a flat ride.
Yeah, it's like the Larson.
It was really terrible. It was just because it's right beside that ride that spun us to where we were just absolutely ill, and then you guys walked off that right onto the Flying Cobras. I don't know how you did.
Well, it wasn't easy, but we had to do what we had to do. You know what I mean? And I was high
You need
on
your coaster
Final
count.
Take Sugar at the time, so I wasn't thinking straight. Yeah, so that thing was awful. No one's gonna do that ever again. The next one, it would have to be Nighthawk, right? That thing was just god awful as well. Now,
Nighthawk was absolute misery.
yeah, and plus it was hot, like you said, and those are the ones that they recline you back, so you're just looking straight at the sun. Oh man, that's just miserable.
You know, the difference that shocked me, because when you said we got to go on it, it reclines you, because I remembered the ride in what was it, the Manta? That reclined you forward to where you were hanging from it was such a great, fantastic ride.
That's SeaWorld.
You know, if you went 90 degrees the other way and you were reclining back with your head up, that it could turn into such a miserable ride.
Now it's going to be just the middle, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 more before you get to the top 3. So I guess I'll just say, or I can go through what they are. There's Hurler, which we all rode at King's Dominion. That one, yeah, it's an old wooden coaster. I don't much care for it, but it's I might ride it. If we went back, because Hurler now is gone forever at King's Dominion, I may ride it just for nostalgia's sake. But if it was closed, I wouldn't feel bad. It's nothing special. So okay, that was Hurler. Carolina Cyclone, that's their Loch Ness Monster, and yeah, that's your aerodynamics looping coaster. This one's unique because the track changes colors like 4 times. It's very, I don't know why, but the track goes from like yellow to blue to pink. I don't know what all the 4 colors are, but it's a weird one. Did you ride that one, Joe?
I did not ride that one. I've went on the Loch Ness Monster seems to be okay with me, but I've gone on the King's Dominion version, which is a little bit longer, which just seems like, man, you're just so cramped when you're in those cars, and I don't know how you fit in it because you're so much taller than me anyway, but I feel like incredibly cramped in those, and I decided, well, let me save my limited ability to take this kind of torque anymore. So I decided to save it for the Fury and tap out of the Carolina Cyclone.
Chris, do you remember what's it called? Carolina Cyclone.
Yes, I do, and I was not a big fan of it at all.
Let's see, what is next on our list? Ricochet. Love me some Ricochet. Yeah, that's their Wild Mouse.
Ricochet or the Mouse. Is it called the Mouse at some place?
Actually, the name of the ride is Wild Mouse.
I mean, unless it's broken, there's no line, right? I mean, because
no, there was a.
Why would you wait for it other than the fact that the line's broken and you're already standing there?
There was a little bit of a line all day because I kept my eye on it as we passed it because I knew there was we couldn't get in quickly, and I wanted to get that credit, so I kept an eye on it. And at some point when the day was coming to an end and the line was basically steady, I was like, wow, man, we got to jump in if we're going to do it. And then, of course, as soon as we did
Wow,
that,
I'm
it
shocked
broke.
by that because I never even gave it a second look all day. So
If I didn't want the credit, yeah, I'm with you because you ride one wild mouse, you rode them all. So I wouldn't.
it is literally the exact same ride at every single park.
Well, I'm sure there's a couple of differences in some of them, but I don't know the logistics of that. But yeah, I won't. I would not wait to ride that one ever again. But I'd walk onto it maybe, just so I could relive a little bit of Zombieland.
Oh, that's right. That was in that movie, wasn't it?
Oh,
That's
man.
funny.
That's fantastic. All right. So now we have Carolina Gold Rusher. That's the mine train. Now, like I said, I rode a bunch of mine trains this summer, new ones that I don't recall. They're kind of all running into one another. Is this the one that had the tunnels and everything, and that was down underground, or is that a different park?
I think a lot of them have tunnels.
Yeah, but
I honestly don't remember anything about the ride.
yeah,
I know we went on it, but other than that, it was unremarkable.
yeah, I know nothing about it either. Chris, you seem to have a good memory. Do you know anything about this mine train, other than that we rode it?
I'm pretty sure there's like some. You go underground like somewhat, but other than that, I can't recall too much.
Yeah. Okay.
It was over by the Wild River ride, right?
No.
No. I don't know.
No? Okay. See, I don't know nothing about it. I'm out.
This was by the Flying Cobras.
Oh, really?
It was like right outside the county.
Wow.
Oh. Well, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. All right, then we'll get. Okay, now we're into the top three. This is where it gets good. Afterburn. That's your B&M suspended. Very good ride. I don't know if I would rank it above Alpengeist. What's the one at
Montu.
Montu? That one's good. What's the one at Cedar Point?
Raptor.
Raptor. Yeah, I think that's probably my second favorite. So yeah, it's a good B&M suspended coaster. I don't know not much more to say about that one. I enjoyed it. This is one I would ride again if I went back to the park. Ian, what do you got?
It's very smooth, and I think that's really its only characteristic.
Oh.
Characteristic.
Well, that's
Yeah.
a good one though. That's a good one
It's
to
a
have.
very good one. That's what kept me off because my experience on the Alpengeist and the Raptor were like, well, these things get kind of tough.
Well, the key is for me at least because I'm older and yeah, I can't. It's too rough to go those sides when it goes side to side. If I get in the front row and I can anticipate, I can see where it's going, and I can like kind of get myself ready to go
Race against the turn.
much better. I really enjoy it then. Yeah, but if I can't see what's coming and it goes side round,
I would have liked it more. I'm afraid with those suspended coasters because after the rough treatment, they just let you hanging in the sun for a long time and you're trapped. And I start to get claustrophobia at the end.
So yeah, Afterburn. It was like I said, I'd ride that again. I think we all believe the same thing. Then Intimidator. This is by far, hands down, the best Intimidator ride that exists. Yeah, 305 has nothing on this.
Right now, if I had to choose in between Intimidator 305 and Intimidator, I'd ride Intimidator 305.
Oh my God, you're insane. You are insane. Please, Chris, enlighten this boy.
Yeah, I have to agree that Intimidator is that was excellent. I love it. So yeah, sorry Ian, but Intimidator, yeah, that was great.
Okay, well, Intimidator was too intense.
You talking about the Carowinds Intimidator?
Yes, Carowinds Intimidator. It's what tapped me out at the end of the night. We did Fury 325, then we walked very quickly over Intimidator and rode it, and then we walked back to 325. It was too much. The Intimidator is what got me. It wasn't Fury 325. It was the ride on Intimidator was too much of my system. Something about it was a little bit too intense for me.
Wow. I don't even know.
I thought it was more intense than Fury 325 or Intimidator 3.
What? You thought it was more intense than Intimidator 325 or 305?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Intimidator 305, I never had a problem with at King's Dominion, and it might be that I'm a year older now and that I just can't do it as much anymore. But I'm telling you what, the Intimidator worked me over something fierce.
Wow. Okay, well, then let's get to it. The big boy, Fury 325, the B&M Giga. So just today, I saw the day we're recording, should I say? It's going to be a little later than when the listeners listen. They just won for the second year in a row. Fury 325 was named the world's best steel roller coaster by readers of Amusement Today. So congratulations to Fury 325. And I must say, I have to agree, that coaster is incredible. And if I were to go back to Carowinds, that's the reason I'd go. And if I were to get a Fast Pass Plus, that would be the reason I would get one, because that ride was so good. The day, the night. I must say, in the very back, it's a little more intense. So I couldn't ride the back.
I think it was too. I think the back row was too. It was too much. The front row was the greatest ride I've ever been on.
Amen.
The middle of it was the greatest ride I've ever been on.
Amen.
The back row was a little too much.
A little too much. I agree. The back row, meh. Front row, oh my God, so good. And at night, oh wow, the color package they have in that tunnel by the entrance of the park, and oh man,
it was amazing because you have all the people walking in and walking out, and all the little kids who weren't tall enough to be on the ride are all just waving, and you're just it's just fantastic experience to go by and wave them because you go over them in one direction and under them the other.
Oh man,
wonderful ride.
We're going on a road trip right now. Let's go. We're gonna ride that thing again. So yeah, there's no question that thing is the best coaster. Ian, do you have anything to add about Fury 325?
I enjoyed the back row more than the front row. Other than that, no.
Wow. Okay.
Woo!
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who I'm raising over here.
Ian's a beast. Ian is a beast.
He is. All right, Chris, what do you got to say about Fury 325?
It has to be my favorite roller coaster of all time, definitely.
Yeah.
Like Upward Millennium Force, I mean Top Thrill, like it just tops it all.
Yeah, it's a fantastic ride. What do you say about front versus back?
I mean, I definitely prefer the front row. That's just
Amen, brother. Amen.
Yeah. But like the back row, I like the back row, but again, it is a little intense. So
I agree.
Yeah, I do prefer the front row.
In the Fast Lane Plus for this particular ride, I mean, that paid for itself because those lines got huge, especially in the night. Like the people who tried to get one last ride, I mean, like you said, we got like 3 or 4 in the time it took the regular queue to get in one ride. And of course, it did rain.
Including a walk all the way over to Intimidator and back.
Yes. So, I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable ride.
Well, the Fast Lane Plus paid for itself on Fury 325 before the park even opened because Fury 325, you got to ride the ride. Well, everyone else stood there and watched you ride it. We went, 2 or 3 times?
Yeah, we went too many times because we missed the CoasterRadio.com group photo.
Oh boy.
So if you go to their website, they have a group photo of everybody who went to the meetup, and we're not there because we're on Fury 325. But that's okay. Next time.
It was a decent trade-off.
Yeah, I suppose. I think that's all I have. Let me go down the rundown. Does anybody have anything to add about this minication that we went to Carowinds?
No, I think it was really fun. I think it was a great time. Carowinds is a park I would definitely recommend people to go to, and it's really cool and neat.
Yeah, I have to tend to agree. If you've never been there, it's definitely worth the trip. Just for Fury 325 alone. I mean, that ride's incredible. All right, then.
Yeah, if you're a coaster person and you want to ride the best coasters in the world, I mean, you have to go and you have to ride Intimidator and you have to ride Fury 325.
And I think they have probably. But I think that will do it for this week's show. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me to discuss this trip. Well, that'll wrap it up for this week's episode. So, thanks for listening to the Vacationeers, Theme Parks, and More podcast. The show can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. Please subscribe and give us a review if you like the show. Visit our website at vacationeerspodcast.com. For additional content, subscribe on YouTube at Vacationeers Podcast. Follow the show on Twitter at Vacationeers Podcast. Please like our Facebook page, Vacationeers, Theme Parks, and More podcast. Send questions, comments, or if you would like to be on a future episode to discuss planning or a review of a vacation, please email the show at vacationeerspodcast@gmail.com. So, until next time, have fun and keep making memories.